Hello.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Nat 2.
Where's just the two of us?
Naturally. So think about doing a little fun cold open and then doing a nice chilled out, recap, is that now we have a very specific timetable to me. So, anything funny happen to you this week?
No.
Give me one funny, a single funny.
I've never done anything ever in my entire life.
I don't know, how do you spell funny?
How do you spell funny? Dude, when the pressure's on.
When the pressure's on.
The reason being is because we live with one other person. And they leave the house when we record on their own volition. Yeah. We didn't really ask them to do that.
They're like, "Oh, I'll just be gone." And we were like, well, okay. So, the idea of being like, oh, you have to fully bounce or you're going to fully be gone the whole time we're recording. And then, so now you can understand the pressure we're under. To be like, hey, you're going to vacate the premises. Okay, you need to be able to be back by a certain amount of time. So that's what we're dealing with right now. So,
well.
In the last episode.
You look so concerned.
We also started late, but due to various small reasons that involved us getting boba tea and cooking.
Yeah, we're, a mess.
We're a little bit of a little mess.
Little mess.
Friggin', here's something funny that happened yesterday. Taylor at work, yesterday, I work with a person named Taylor.
I don't know.
You know who else works with a person named Taylor?
Me!
Everyone on planet Earth.
Yeah.
There's a Taylor at every business, I swear. I was just like, hey, I just want to ask you, I manage a cafe, if I haven't explained that before. Hey, would you be able to make drinks without using any product at all? Because I don't want to have to prep anything, little jokes that you tell your staff. And Taylor goes, I'm a little bit of a pest. And I was like, what did you just say you're a little bit of a pest? I don't even remember. It wasn't that. Like, I had misheard. It might have been like a mess or something. I don't even think it was that. It was like a fully complete different sentence. But I was like, I'm forever saying that. I'm a little bit of a pest. And then Taylor continued to make drinks while using up product, and then I had to prep more.
Well,
yeah.
I also work at a cafe, and the other day, my Taylor said to me that I give off Grandpa Rick vibes from Rick and Morty, and I went, oh, okay.
And you threw up on her shoes.
Yeah. And she was like, yeah, but it's like, it's cozy. Like, I think that's really cozy. And I was like,
that is unhinged.
I love that, the freaking, I'm going to throw up on my shirt and then be like, let's go to an adventure. And that's cozy.
Hey guys, we're going to make some coffee. Let's go on an adventure. If my friggin' boss showed up at work and was like, threw up, but also was like, let's go on an adventure, I'd be like, this is about to be a whole shift, a whole event. Also saying, but that's cozy, is just a fully wild sentence. Oh my gosh, that's so cozy. Like, it was cozy. That's more normal.
I think because I was concerned. I was like,
that's fair.
Do I don't know if that's a good thing. And she was like, no, it's cozy.
Friggin' Shay is intolerable. Let me tell you. Every other second, she's going to wubba lubba dub dub. She's unzipping like portals to
Turning
alien
myself
planets.
into a pickle.
The problem with Rick and Morty is that it is really funny.
I got her hooked onto it.
The first episode when the freaking alien, if any of you have seen the first episode, we'll start at some point. They go to like an alien planet, and I guess these idiots were like, how do you make the planet like alien? And one of the freaking aliens is talking to another alien and goes, yeah, I just ate a flim flam, is what we eat around here. I was like, oh no, this is the funniest show on TV. There's parts of it that are not fine, but that is the funniest single moment of TV was that.
Anyways.
Yeah, and I didn't want to like it. She can tell you. I was fully like, I'm not gonna like this on principle, and then the alien said that, and I was like, what am I gonna do?
Yeah.
Sit here and not laugh?
I was like, she was like, I'm not gonna like this, and I went, I know you as a person.
She knows me better than I know myself.
Yeah. Really. And I was like, you're going to like this, and you're gonna hate yourself for it.
I do.
Yeah.
That was your goal? I don't hate myself enough. You need to increase that. Hey, I feel like you don't hate yourself enough, so we're gonna watch Rick and Morty, and you're gonna like it. See what we can't do about that. All right, we're gonna start. What happened last episode, Shay?
The boys got through the tunnel, and they had some little conversations. Some of them were very funny, like what is it, your ass?
Illusion couldn't fit. We went from killing tieflings to like hiding their bodies,
kidnapped,
kids, going through everything. Yeah, that was most of it. At least the episode was just going through the tunnel. It was a little suspect in many parts. Ethiod
asking a lot of questions, making a lot of people uncomfortable, including both Fingers and Lucian.
Yeah.
Like, he was like, hey, Fingers, I think you don't like me anymore, but that's okay. I just want you to know that I know that you feel different.
Yeah.
And that, it's all right, but I just want to get that off my chest so I don't have to think about it anymore. And then Fingers was like, that's not true, man. And it's just I thought that we were more similar. And he's like, see, but that
indicates to me. That something is different. Yeah. That happened. Ethiod reassurance seeked for a little bit. And then he was just like, Lucian, you look a little tense. And Lucian was like, yeah, I don't want to kill anybody else. And then you're like, okay, forget about my whole thing. The kids stand together, act through almost getting thieved up with the oldest trick in the book. You fight about your mom, and then you cause a distraction. Yeah. You know.
And then they make it to the little door, and everyone gets out with ease except for Lucian.
He's a big dude, you know? He's not as tall as Ethiod, but Ethiod's like a little stick. Like, him and Fingers are both little sticks.
Little sticks.
And Merida's a little lady.
And then the rest of them are kids.
Yeah, Lucian's 180 pounds. And so he's good-sized dude, 6'2". Fingers' clothes are like tight as heck on him. Yeah. He's like, I can't bend over to tie my shoes. Good thing I've got boots on.
Got all freaking muscle, muscle, and also maybe not that.
Yeah, well, use your imagination. Do what we did and Googled 180-pound man. I gotta say, if you do jiu-jitsu. If any of you do jiu-jitsu, or
which Monica does,
I do jiu-jitsu, or like wrestling, you get really good at estimating people's weights. And so I have this man in my head, and I'm like, yeah, it'd be hard to fit through thing. All right, anyway, so then they kind of set off, and then Ethiod was like, cool, we're out of the tunnel, time to freaking pop off with the emotional turmoil.
Well, I'm just curious about what the fuck is going on, and nobody will tell me because everyone is so sensitive all of the time. Like, oh, your hand is glowing, and I want to ask about that, and suddenly I'm stepping into territory that is not allowed.
It's complicated, mate. There's a lot of other things going on. It's not even related to what's happening.
It is related. Yes, it is.
No, it's not. It's not related at all.
How is it not related?
It's just something that happened, mate.
Shut up.
Anyway, so that took place. This is like in the old days of fanfiction.net when the fanfic author would have a conversation with the character. It's just what that is.
It is. And then everyone. Fingers saw a stone person, maybe. Me and them have trouble seeing right now.
So allegedly potentially
somebody who kind of looked like Yezi.
Yeah.
And then we made our way off. And then Finch talked to his robot fucking dad.
The notes I got on this dad are wild.
He's great. I think it's funny.
Uh-huh.
My voice for Finch sucks. We're doing
their whole family is a travesty.
Yeah. Had some fun conversations in a tavern and told his dad what was going on. Basically, that was it. It was kind of just letting his dad know the situation and then hanging out in a tavern until his dad was ready to leave. And then at the very end, we had Viray and Fernil, where Fernil was in the hospital for getting beat the heck up. And then
for running his mouth.
Yeah. And Viray trying to fix something.
Get him
something,
to tell him
like,
what.
yeah.
So that he could question mark.
He's like, what, 15, 14, like, baby.
Yeah.
And he's like, I was going to talk as this. I don't know what to do at all. I mean, I don't like saying that I'm, kid, but I am. And I can only do so much, and I have 2 fists, but Fernil doesn't want me to do that.
Right. So, basically it ended with Fernil saying, I don't want you to do anything, because this shouldn't be something that you have to deal with. It shouldn't even be something that I have to deal with. There should be people who care, who will do things, and there aren't, and because there aren't, I just want it to be that way, and I want to be upset about it. I don't want it to be, I don't want us, but also I can't fix it. I don't want you to fix it.
Yeah.
Because that's wrong.
Yeah.
Like, that's his stance. So basically what ended up was you came and then y'all did accomplish no goals.
Yeah.
And then you stayed there with him.
Yeah.
In case you put a chair against the door so the nurse couldn't come back in and kick you out. All right. So while all of that was going on, all of those very many things, you can imagine that Tavumile, Ife, Yezi, Thalen, and Senthet have been continuing to make their way towards Yendori Ti'al Talenthi. Clip-clopping away, carriage, horses, the whole 9. And they weren't in the last episode, but the episode before that, Yezi got sent to a message from Lucian. She responded, and then there was sort of there's intermittent conversation and silence.
Yeah.
Like, everybody starts talking, people stop talking, people join in and out of conversation. Probably somebody's, like, snoring, because all you're doing is waiting in the carriage, because it's going to take still some more hours to get there.
Yeah.
And as you continue going in that direction, if he's in the middle of, like, a tale, what is she regaling everybody about?
I know a lot of like kind of cheap jokes and stuff like that, because one time I really wasn't that good at listening. I mean, I think I'm a little bit better at it now, but also, like, no, all right, I'll say this. I'm good at listening. I just choose to do what I want to do. So it's not that I'm not hearing people. I just want to do what I'm going to do. And if they're going to be upset about that, then they're just choosing to be upset about that.
I mean, that's evident.
What do you mean by that?
Well, I mean, of course, you're just going to do whatever it is that you want to do.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you should do whatever it is you want to do.
All right.
All right, what?
Well,
you don't sound convinced.
I mean, I think you should maybe take other people's words into consideration before you decide.
I do take them into consideration. I didn't say I didn't take them into consideration.
I don't think that you do.
And why don't you think I do?
I just think that you hear people, but you don't pay attention to what they say.
Thalen, how long have you known me?
Well, I don't know, but I feel like we've gotten to know each other quite a lot in this amount of time. We've gone on a death-defying sort of adventure, It requires lots of logistics.
Right. Listen, I never said I don't consider what people say. My opinion about something or my choice to do something can be informed by other people's, whatever. Like, me doing this, there ain't no reason for me to be here. I mean, I do want to meet the king, but that ain't even a guarantee that I'm going to meet the king. Well, is it not a guarantee? Well, honey, because I'm not the one that's supposed to meet him. I mean, it's not like we're going to walk in through the gates or whatever. Maybe we ain't going to even be allowed in the castle. But you're with me. Well, yeah, but you're the one that they want to talk to. We ain't the ones why would they let us in?
Yes,
I mean...
I feel like more than likely we'll be sort of sent on our way while you talk to the king.
Yeah, probably. I mean, like, even if we're allowed inside the castle, I mean, I'm certain that the king's not just gonna be hanging around, just being out and about. Why not, Tavumile? Because people probably want him dead. Why?
Certainly, with that.
Well, it's true, is it not? Well, I mean, I guess more people would want him dead than a usual amount.
And what, pray tell, is the usual amount of people that want you dead?
Well, apparently one.
Well, for you?
Yeah.
What's the national average of amount of people?
Well, I
want
gotta
you dead?
say, for a lot of my life, people have wanted me dead, even though they don't know me. Like, they just see me and they're like, okay, it would be better off if you were dead. Why are you laughing? It's true.
I don't think that has anything to do with the normal amount of people who'd want you dead. Is it like something like 0.83 or something? The normal amount is 0, but you just have a lot of people who want you dead.
I'm an outlier.
It skews the average or something.
I shouldn't be counted. I'm an outlier.
Exactly. And then, as it goes, the king shouldn't be counted.
Well, I guess that's true. I don't know what the average is, but I will say that the Assassin's Guild has a lot of work. Well,
but I think the point is this. You won't just be walking around the castle because it's not... Well, I suppose, the castle, I imagine, would be safe. He's going to, pass a sidelong glance to Yezi, raise an eyebrow.
Why would I know anything about that?
Well, I don't know. Anyway, but the point is, would you happen to know the amount of people who might want him dead? I don't know.
Oh, I don't. The Assassin's Guild does not take contracts on royals.
Well, I'd imagine you don't take any contracts outside of Waypoint Town. Is that...
Oh, that's not true.
Oh, well, I suppose the point is this. You'll have an audience with him, I'd imagine.
Just me?
Well, I mean, just you two.
You too?
You and the king.
Oh, I thought you meant that there was going to be another person.
They were talking past each other.
Well, is that a good thing? I think it's
well...
What?
I think it's a good thing.
Why oh, well, I I hope he ain't, like that. Because, we're we're supposed to be living in peace and all that, but, if our theories are maybe a whiff of what's going on, he might not be too happy about the Wethway people.
I don't think that he would have a problem with you, and he's gonna, look specifically at Iffy.
Oh, yeah.
So that's about it.
Well,
of course, I'm dressed up as a different high elf, so I'd say definitely not me. Yezi's contagious, potentially, so I'd say not her. He's, looking at your disguise.
Oh, I see. Aren't we taking off our disguises when we get there?
No.
Well, Tavumile is for sure.
Well, obviously, but I don't see...
Why just me?
Well, you're going to talk to the king. He's going to know who you are.
Yes, but why not you guys as well?
Well...
Go ahead.
No, please. I'm just sort of, the peanut gallery as it goes.
Oh, that's fine. I think there ain't no reason really for him to know who we are, but I think that we should consider the fact that it might come off as undesirable if it comes to pass that somebody finds out that we were hiding who we really are.
Well, yes, I would say that since there's no reason for anybody to know who you are, you might as well stay disguised up. What does it hurt?
Well, exactly what I just said. If they find out that we're disguised, that might cause some issues.
Well, I don't think it matters if they know I'm there, but Yezi is in
I'm not going to go in.
What do you mean you're not going? You're going into the town,
if they
aren't you?
find that the rock genosi are known for, even if I don't say my last name, any rock genosi being around, that is sometimes a suspicion, especially for people who are in the know. I would imagine that a royal court would know stuff about who might cause him harm. And I don't want them to think that I am there for that reason, but also Lucian and Fingers and the rest are going to be in the adjacent town. Feel as though should be there. We don't know what state they are in.
Well, my point is that you still have your disguise on, no?
I guess so.
There you go. I mean, Iffy can come with us.
Well, yeah, I don't care if they know who I am.
Well, I mean, you look a bit scary at the moment, so...
I'll probably take my disguise off.
I think that would make sense. I mean, I think I could take mine off as well. So it's just Tavern should take hers off when she talks to the king, but I don't think...
So all of us except for Yezi?
Well, is that not what we're here to work out? Who's going to disrobe, as it were? But, okay, so... Oh, all right. So, me and... When will we get there? You said, how many more hours? Well, if we continue at the pace we're going, we'll get there before it starts getting dark. So late afternoon, something like that.
That's good, because I need to be there today.
Oh, I thought you were going to say, wait, no, you need to be there tomorrow.
Isn't today the third day?
Oh,
No,
goodness.
No less than 3 days'
Well, it was
time.
Well, I was thinking that the first you got the letter, and then...
Well, I got it, and then I got it in the morning, and then it said in no less than 3 days. So wouldn't that start when I got the letter? Well, I mean, wait, so you got the letter in the morning, and then it said in no less than 3 days' time. So wouldn't they give you 3 days after receiving the letter?
Was there a date on the letter? The date that they wanted you there?
No, it just said no less than 3 days. Also, it was given to me by a pigeon, so I'm not really sure if... I don't know. The pigeon talked, too. It didn't tell me anything. Well, wait, okay, take the pigeon out of the picture, because the delivery method ain't important.
Well, I mean, Tavumile, are you sure it didn't have a date on the letter?
She looks like really concerned. I think she's like, no, I'm not sure. I'm not really good at reading.
Well, I mean...
All right.
You can roll a history check
Sure.
to see if she can remember. We'll do it with disadvantage because she's not very good at reading.
7.
You do not recall a date.
I don't think so, if I'm remembering correctly. But I really only looked at it once, and then I read it once, and then I went downstairs, and then I showed it to Lucian, and I didn't really look at it again. I left it at the house, because I wrote a letter on the back of it to let my mum and Lucian know that I was going into town.
Oh.
Well, you know, when you get, like, invitations and stuff like that to, like, royal whatever, I ain't never got one before. But I do think that a good course of action is to maybe keep it with you.
Yes, well...
Why?
Because, I mean, presumably I've never been to the Talenthi castle town, but I'd imagine there would be guards and a gate, perhaps. Something that you could give them to let them know what you were there for. But I don't think... I would be surprised if he expected you to be there if he knows that your farm burned down. I mean, I'd imagine word has gotten back to him.
I'm sure that it has, if the guards knew about it at the town. You know, Talenthi guards looking for Lucian.
Yes, so, I mean, I think that if you're a bit delayed... I mean, if you meant today...
Well, I mean, either way, we're going to get there today.
Well, it should be evening at least.
Well, we're going to be there.
Well,
day ain't over until it's over.
I suppose it's
What?
not.
It's true. Why are you laughing at that?
I'm not laughing. I'm just saying I don't imagine the king would I don't know, have an audience with Tavumile at 7 o'clock at night or something.
Well,
like
I'm not saying that he's going to do that, but what I am saying is that she's going to be there. And he's going to know that she's there.
I suppose. Either way, we'll be there, yes. Even if you're a bit delayed, I think he'll understand.
When should I change into my dress?
When you're about to see the king, Tavumile, when you go to the castle to see him, you can change into it then.
So, like, in the carriage?
You know what? We'll cross this bridge when we come to it. This is not so urgently needed to be figured out, I'd imagine.
Well, I just figured because we're figuring out other stuff too.
We'll let you know.
Yeah.
There you go.
There's
You've not got to worry about it at all because we'll tell you.
Right.
Look at that. Go ahead and roll a perception check as... I'm going to roll one. Screw you. You can... Well, roll one as Yezi. I feel like she's paying attention to the world.
That one.
Oh, well, forget about that. Yezi, as you're, like, bumping along in the carriage and everyone is talking, suddenly you're kind of, like, overcome with a memory. Something that this has reminded you of. What is that?
What, sitting in the carriage?
Well, I mean, sitting in the carriage listening to everybody talk.
Oh. I think probably a time when she had a contract that was... Actually, you know what? When she was first coming to Waypoint Town to work in the Assassin's Guild, she was riding in a carriage that was kind of like a communal carriage. And so there was a bunch of folks in it that were kind of just there also going to Waypoint Town. And it was going to be her first time ever being there, but she knew that she was assigned at the Assassin's Guild.
So you're on this carriage going into town. Mm-hmm. So it's just like what people were talking about, whatever.
Yeah.
Like while you were going.
Yeah.
So you're imagining that, and you're seeing it's, you know, a carriage still on the inside, but this is a merchant carriage, and presumably that one was for travel. Mm-hmm. So much more full of folks. And, you know, cloaked or like a mother and child, that sort of thing. Any manner of folks as you're going there. And you're kind of paying attention to that. And so when the carriage stops suddenly, you are quite surprised.
Why are we stopping?
Well, if you don't mind directing your attention forward, you'll see.
Okay. I think that Yezi kind of like moves to look out the little cutout.
Yeah, I think everybody kind of like moves in that direction. And you see in front of you, on this road through the mountain, that it's kind of like flanked by two other like mountain faces. You see that there is the only path that you'd be able to take through because the cliffs are so sheer. And on the path on either side of it, there are two Talenthi guards, unmistakably Talenthi guards, speaking to a traveler on the road.
I think that Yezi, or I think that Ife sees that, and she's like, well, does everybody remember their names?
Oh, bollocks, Tavumile.
Yes,
Toby or something like that.
No.
I suppose it doesn't matter. We can just come up with some again.
No, I haven't.
Thalen, you're Darmis. And I'm Janala. And Yezi, you're Sailor. And Ife, you're Pasha. Right.
What was mine again?
Darmis.
What are you on about back there?
Oh, they're like names that we came up with.
Senthet. So... the thing about all of this is that, well, unfortunately, you're going to have to fill me in really quickly because, and he's like, the people start walking. You can see that he's being like waved forward. And he's like, give me like that short version if you don't mind.
All right, just call me by Pasher, call Yezi by Thala, Tavumile's Janala, and Thalen's Darmus.
Already half of those are out
We're
of
a
my
theater. We're a theater group. You don't even gotta know us. We're just
I
a theater
suppose
group
not.
that you're
Okay, I'm transporting you. All right, got it. And you guys are like moving forward. You can go ahead and roll a perception check as iffy.
Okay. 8.
You can you see Thalen. You can see he takes out the playbook of the Great Tree, and he starts just kind of like leafing through it, and he looks like a little nervous.
Come on, look, it ain't that hard. We're gonna be fine.
What are you talking about? It's not that hard. You've never done anything like that. Well, you might have. Anyway, and he's just like looking at the book.
We're gonna be fine. This is gonna be fun.
And as you kind of approach in the carriage, these two, everybody gears up to do some stuff. You feel the carriage like moving kind of like slowly as he approaches these two guards, having just spoken to this other traveler. And as you approach more, you can see off. Well, good roll perception check as everybody. We'll just do everybody.
Iferson got a 7. Yezi got a 11. Tavumile got a 5.
Senthet is gonna kind of like quietly say over his shoulder, "You know, we could just make a run for it."
What? No. That. Do you know how suspicious that would be?
Well, I mean, if we get found out, if you all do a trash job of whatever.
If it comes to that, we will figure it out.
Also, I would like to say they've got horses tied up behind the tree over there. Well, I suppose we're do or die. And he's gonna like kind of like inch forward in the carriage. You see anyone who is looking out of this the little like window would be able to see them approaching, and then Senthet goes, "Oh lads, what can I do you for?" He's gonna roll a performance check. Okay. And you can hear the conversation from the back. It's a little bit muffled. "What can I do you for?" And as they approach him, you hear one of them say, "Where are you headed?" "Oh, well, we're headed to Yendori Ti'al Talenthi, as it goes. I'm taking these travellers here, and we'll just be going there." "And who are these travellers?" "Well, I don't know, actually. They're, so in sort of costume and that sort of thing, so I suppose some sort of performers. I'm just a merchant. They asked to hitch a ride with me there, so, and while you go in there," you know, that kind of conversation. It's like, "Because I'm a merchant, so I own a general store, and I wanted to increase my, stock of goods that I sell, so we'll just be on our way." And he's gonna kind of like, he's doing that. And you hear the other one say, "Well, you wouldn't mind us taking a look in the back there, would you?" "Oh, I no, suppose not. What exactly is it that you're looking for?" "Well, you know that farm burnt down in the farmlands last night. I'm sure you've heard. We're looking for," and you hear paper kind of like being taken out of the bag. "This bloke here, Lucian Valmoyer. Have you heard the name before?"
I think that like Tavumile kind of sits up and looks a little worried, and I feel like Iffy clocks that, and she just like smiles at her, and just like shakes her head like, "It's fine. We knew this was gonna happen," kind of thing.
"Oh, well, you know, I can't say that I have, but you'll see no winter eldrins here, that's for sure. Well, we would just like to make sure. So if it's all the same to you," and you can see he's kind of like waves his hand, and the other guard kind of goes behind the back. It's like he's gonna open the back of the carriage, and Senthet's like, "Oh, by all means, you'll see, we'll see just as I've said." And the other guy's gonna open the back of the carriage. So you see the carriage door open. It's like blinding light go in and illuminate the carriage. And you just see in front of you Talenthi guard, Summer Eldrin, like Talenthi guard uniform. And he is going to roll a perception check.
I think when he opens the door, Iffy kind of leans forward from sitting and just like does a little wave and a smile. And I feel like Tavumile's like, hello.
Thalen's gonna kind of just like nod warmly, trying to be like as unobtrusive as possible.
Yeah, Yezi just looks at him. Like, doesn't.
He's like looks around at the back, and you see him kind of like look at everyone, and he like basically passes over Tavumile and Iffy. He's kind of just like, what the, like gives you like a weird eyeball. And his eyes even just pass over Yezi. Like, he's not paying attention to what like she's unnoteworthy enough, just kind of odd looking. And they land on Thalen kind of for a little bit more time, and Thalen's like,
yeah.
And he's going to say, so you're a theater troupe.
That's right, sir.
And what's your name?
Oh, we're called the Crimson Page.
I've not heard of you before.
Well, we are waiting for our big break.
Yes, indeed. We're hoping, heading towards the castle town to see if we can, we've got a talent show or open mic night or something like that.
A lot more taverns there, I've heard, than, anywhere else around here, so.
Yes, I'm not sure that the one that we just passed would be so well attended. Oh, you mean the Little Daisy? Well, I've stayed there before, and they have, shows every once in a while, but I'd agree. So you've got an invitation or something like that.
It's called the Little Daisy.
What?
A tavern? That's called the Little Daisy?
Yes, it's nearby.
That's really sweet.
So you've got, he's gonna like turn towards everyone who isn't Tavumile, and he's gonna say, so you've got some sort of invitation to the city, to the castle town? No, but to some sort of, you're going to be performing there in some theatre. No. He's gonna like look at Yezi. Yes.
It's not really how it works.
And pray tell, how does it work?
We show up to a town, we go to a tavern, and then we ask if we can perform there. We told you that we have not gotten a big break. You've never heard of us, have you?
Well, no, as I've said.
So, how would we get an invitation if nobody has ever heard of us? Well, yeah, we gotta put like our name out there, So like we kind of show up, and then we're like, hey, this is what we do. Is there any time I get like this week or whatever that we can do whatever? Typically, we don't make no money from it. We kind of pay them to let us perform, so that pay for space and stuff like that.
Go ahead and roll a collective deception check.
Okay.
And go ahead and roll that first.
What would my plus be?
Do it straight.
9.
Okay. And go ahead and roll an advantage perception check for Tavumile.
Okay. 19.
As this conversation is kind of going on, and you're watching, kind of Yezi, Iffy, and Thalen take the reins on dealing with this guy, you can hear Senthet at the front is talking to the other one still. And you hear him say, we've been at this all night looking for this fellow. I'm sure you've seen the posters and all that, but, oh, yes, I have. And, I can't imagine why someone would do something so horrible as that. They're doing that. And the other guy goes, well, their last name can only be so surprising. What do you mean about that? Well, his father. And you hear Senthet kind of go like, and he says, well, I think that there's a good chance that that there's more to that than meets the eye. I don't think, just because it's the the fact that they've got the same last name's got anything to do with it? Well, I mean, clearly that's his son. Yes, well, I think that
I think that Tavumile is gonna like. There's like a window kind of situation. I think that she sticks her head out the window to look at that guy, and she's just like, "Excuse me."
Yes.
You said that you've been looking for him all night.
Yes, we have.
Why are you here? If you're looking for him.
Well, because we were looking around Waypoint Town. He started out there in the farmlands, and we didn't find him, so we've been told to expand our search. Why? Do you know where he is?
No. I was asking because, is it just you here? Just you two?
Well, yes.
Well, wouldn't that not make any sense? When I was younger and I would play hide and seek, sometimes there'd be like some kids that would come into the area that I lived in, and I would play with them because I didn't have very many friends. But the less kids that there were, the less kids got found, because you know how like when you would play hide and seek and you'd be found and then you would help the seeker.
Yes, well, Tavumile, you see, I'm sure these two fine fellows are stopping everybody who goes through this path. Am I wrong? No, that's exactly right. That way, everybody going from Waypoint Town towards the castle town will get found out. Wouldn't want any nasties near the king.
Why would he go to the castle town?
You seem like you know something about this, lass.
Something about what?
You seem surprised that we're looking here. You seem surprised that... Do you know something about him?
No.
Good, roll a deception check.
I'm gonna do Tides of Chaos.
Okay.
Once per long rest, gain advantage on one attack, roll, ability check, or saving throw.
Okay.
Nat 20.
Dang, bro. Okay, so when you look at him, you say no. What is it that you're doing that is just so convincing that there's no, like, it's absolutely airtight?
I feel like they look at her and she looks like airheaded. Like, she purely is just like, oh, you're just asking because you have no concept of like how serious this is.
Yeah, I see.
Yeah.
And you're like, well, it doesn't make sense. It's just you two out here. And Senthet's like, well, they're stopping everybody who goes through, you know, and that sort of thing. So as you see him, you say that and you bat your little eyelashes at him. You can hear Senthet isn't breathing at all. And he turns to look back at Senthet and he kind of gives him like a look that would be challenging for Tavumile to parse.
Yeah.
But he kind of gives the same look back and he's like, oh, well, you know, it's some...
I feel like Iffy can hear Tavumile doing this, and she's like, grabs the back of her collar and pulls her in, and I feel like Tavumile's like, ugh. And then Iffy sticks her head out, and she's like, hey, sorry about that. She ain't all that, socialized.
He's gonna, like, look at you kind of doing that and, like, kind of, like, nod at you, looking at you, like, surprised that you did that suddenly. And then, he's gonna kind of like go back to like looking at Senthet, and it's gonna be like, oh, so well, as a guard, you know, were you in the war by any chance? And the guard is gonna be like, was I in the war? You know, like that sort of thing. And you can hear Senthet go, sick, baller, awesome, sick. Okay, war. If there's one thing I can talk about. And as you yank her back inside, Thalen's just like, yes, so, well, I was saying, as I was saying, we're just starting out, and well, and he's going to kind of like move his hand in a way.
Do you want to see some of it?
Freaking Thalen turns to look at you with like a expression frozen on his face.
I feel like both Iffy and Yezi do the same thing. Well, I think Iffy smiles a bit 'cause she's like, I actually kind of want to do this. But I feel like Yezi looks at her like, oh my god.
So Thalen's gonna like turn back to the guy and be like, Yes, we would be more than happy to give you a tidbit of art act, and you can see, maybe you can give us some notes or something.
Oh, yeah, some pointers or something
Yes.
like that. We're always looking for critics, but like critics that got constructive criticism. Yeah. If it ain't constructive, then, just don't say nothing.
We've gotten quite a lot of the other sort, so...
Yeah, it's not enjoyable.
Right, so... are you familiar with the play The Great Tree, by any chance? 1 through 10, he's familiar with it. 11 through 20, he's never heard of it. 5. Well, yes, actually, my daughter's middle school did a production of it once, so I...
oh, shoot. That's kind of embarrassing.
Is it?
Well, we're doing a play that they're putting on at a middle school. Maybe we gotta find some more sophisticated content.
Oh, well, she's in a performing arts school.
For a middle schooler.
Well, she's quite gifted, So actually, I've got to, I've got to say I've got quite a critical eye, I'd say, at this point. Yes. So why don't you perform, and I've heard, the things that her teachers say to her, so I might be able to
like you've absorbed it or something like that.
Right. So go ahead, and I'll let you know what I think.
All right. You want us to do it here in the carriage, or you want us to step on out and do it for you? It is a bit of a, how do I put this? Kind of avant-garde production.
Yes, it is. It's quite avant-garde. Actually, we've done some parts of it to suit our interests, haven't we?
Yes, and none of us have speaking parts, except for Damis.
Well, yes, it's sort of, we're doing it like, it's like a storybook, so I sort of read it, and they act out the things, so they don't have any lines.
Yeah, it's supposed to be like, storybook, like reminiscent of your childhood and stuff like that, like makes you feel like, safe. You know what I mean? Oh, I really liked it when my mum would read me storybooks.
Exactly, so we took that as inspiration, and we've sort of tweaked it a bit. Go ahead, roll a straight deception check.
13.
Well, I've got to say, that's quite impressive that you've, for your first production, decided to deconstruct sort of the whole genre of theatre. That's quite interesting. I'm quite intrigued.
Really?
So, yes, I'd love to see it if you'd be willing to step out of the carriage. I'm sorry to take up so much of your time.
Oh, it's all right. But we do want to get there we're going to get there real late, so we'll just do like a snippet of it.
Oh, yes,
it.
by all means. Frungit, come round back here.
I'm sorry, what?
Oh, that's his last name, Frungit.
Frungit?
He's
that's an interesting last name.
Well, he comes from it's quite a wealthy family in the Talenthi.
Oh, is it really?
He's doing this as like a gap year type thing. Anyway, Frungit, come around here.
I didn't realize you could be a guard as a gap year.
Yeah, well, he was in the war also. He's got quite a complicated past, this side character, this completely unimportant person. Frungit, come round here. And you hear Senthet is like, oh, what's that then? And he's like, you've got to watch this. They're going to perform for us, and it should be quite a treat. And Frungit kind of like bows out and starts walking around to the back of the carriage. And you all get out, presumably.
Yeah. Yeah. So I guess a little bit of context. She looks at Yezi. Sayla here, and like points to her. Sayla plays the prince. As you can see, we're a little short on men, so he's the best Elvish reader out of all of us. So that's why he's the narrator. But and I think that Iffy remembers that Fingers was supposed to be the tree, and so she's like, but it's kind of like this whole thing is about the great tree, right? And so the narrator is the great tree, like, is coming from the perspective of the tree instead, like, he's telling his own story kind of thing.
Right.
Yeah. And,
a, like, glance passes between you and Thalen, where Thalen's like,
And, Janala here, she plays the princess, because,
Yes, she plays the princess. And
I play the monster.
Right, and remember check to see if he remembers her name. Sayla here plays the prince.
Yeah, that's what I said that, Thalen.
When you look at Thalen, you say, I said that, Thalen. Thalen's eyes get really big for a second, and they get really big, and then he like looks at you, and then he looks back at the guards. And they kind of look at each other and look back at you all.
Yeah, I feel like if it's just like, so you gotta be listening. Remember how we said that we gotta be really in tune with each other, because this is kind of all like sort of improvised.
Right, yes. Maybe we should do some warm-ups. Zip.
What?
Warm-ups.
Zip.
Zap.
Zap.
You've never played Zip Zap? We play Zip Zap Zop all the time.
My memory is bad.
Right.
Maybe we could do warm-ups like jumping jacks. How about we just start?
We should just start. I think it's a good idea that we stop. All right. So, and everybody gets out of the carriage, standing on the ground, and Thalen kind of stands in the middle, and he's holding the book.
Mm-hmm.
And you hear the other one go, "What? Aren't you supposed? You're a theater's troupe. Aren't you supposed to be? Remember the lines? I've never seen a play where the whole thing was read."
Well, remember how I said that it was like you're being read to?
Right, yes, they explained it to me that it's like a storybook. It's going to be like an avant-garde version of... have you ever heard of The Great Tree, the play? I'm not... I know that I'm, summer eligible. I don't think you know this about me. Elvish is actually not my native language. So I've not heard of a lot of plays and that sort of thing.
Is Elvish not? What's your native language?
Oh, Common, actually. I grew up among humans and I joined the army and now I'm on a gap year as you do, so...
Huh.
Oh, that's quite interesting, I suppose. Yeah, so basically it means that I've not heard any plays in English at all.
Frongit, is that your name?
I think so. I sure do hope so.
You're quite an interesting fella.
I've heard that before. Doesn't help
screw
me.
this play. I just want to know more about you.
Well, I was born upside down.
Do you mean like your mama was upside down?
Well, I'm not sure. I was busy being born. But that's what I was told. And
I'm sorry. Wait, hold on. No, like for real, I won't screw this play. What are you talking about, Frogget?
Frogget,
what's your first name?
Frogget. He's quite a character,
What was his first name?
Frogget.
Frogget.
name is Frunget.
I'm sorry. I don't.
He's got quite a lot of stories about his life, you know.
Oh, goodness. Can we hear one of them?
Well, it depends if you're...
If I would.
If your performance is up to snuff, I'll tell you.
No, I'll pay you to hear one of your stories. Honestly, maybe you could join us. You could just put
join
you up
the
on
trip.
stage.
Well, you know, as I've said, I'm on a gap year. I'm trying out a lot to do. I've decided what I want to do.
Well, you know
with
what?
my
When
life.
you're done being a guard, you can come contact the Crimson Page and join our theater group.
Well, I'd be happy to try it out.
Yeah, we have no contact information because we don't really live nowhere, but we'll find you by the sheer will of your personality.
I appreciate it, and that's why I've got an odd name, is I grew up around humans.
Well,
Frunget is Frunget is a human name.
Is it?
My mum said that I was so nice they named me twice.
Frunget, you gotta stop.
This fellow is quite interesting.
I feel like even Yezi is laughing.
Senthet is like making he's not even laughing, he's just making like gasping noises.
Oh, well, now we're gonna have to do even less of it because this is taking up quite a chunk of time.
I'm sorry,
don't
mean
be sorry.
to.
This is the best moment of my entire life. I am honored to meet you, Frunget.
You see the other guard is looking like kind of perturbed. You guys had a rapport and now you're all into Frunget. He doesn't have the eye for theatre that I've got. Well, no, not elvish theatre, but I was...
Oh, you can tell us more.
As a summer job when I was a lad, I worked in a theatre in the Toadsworth clan as a sandbag. So
Really?
I've got quite a few,
What theater you work at?
The horror.
The whore. Oh, you mean the whore huddle?
The old whore. But it's a whore like a HOAR. It's an acronym.
Yeah, I think I've heard of that before.
Right.
Yeah, Hands of Artists Retreat, something like that.
Something like that.
I don't...
I worked as a sandbag at the old whore
Wait,
theatre.
you were the sandbag?
They hoisted me. I'm quite a big lad, and so... What?
Did you choose to be there?
Well, I was they had a big lad playing one of the main roles, and I'm quite a big lad, and they didn't have enough sand for just the one bag. It was, a biome, inland, so they could have put dirt in the bag.
Yeah, or rocks.
No, that's not, done apparently, so I was the sandbag. And so I've been near a lot of theatre, but I'm not.
How long did you do that for?
Oh, it was a summer job, so for
the
the summer.
whole summer. You were being hoisted up and down.
I determined that it wasn't for me.
Well, and now you're a god. Are you good? Oh, Lord.
I think that as absolutely scintillating as I think it'd be to sit and have you regale us about your entire life story, I think we should probably start.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Dalen's like wiping the tears from his eyes. So, are you ready everyone.
I'm Retty. Frungit, I just want to say, I think
Oh, call me Frungit. Frungit is my father's name.
I think that's what I said.
No, you said Frungit. That's my first name.
What do you want me to call you?
Frungit.
Frungit.
There you go.
I just wanted to say, I think that you're really interesting.
Well, thank you very much. All right, I think that we should see the play now, so if you don't mind starting, we've got to get back to work, Frungit. And Frungit kind of like looks at him like, I was the life of the party, buddy.
I think Iffy kind of winks at Frungit and then turns to Thalen and is just like, all right, let's start.
Okay, well, so. Avast. The great tree appeared on the horizon. And you see him kind of like step out into the front. And go ahead and roll, obviously disadvantage perception check is iffy, but all of you are standing behind Thalen as he like steps forward onto the thing.
Just iffy perception?
A perception check to everybody, but obviously disadvantage iffy. Do disadvantage also Tavumile because she doesn't read Elvish. Neither does
Yezi.
Well, actually, I think that would be fun. So just disadvantage iffy and regular other folks. Okay. You'll see why. Hopefully, maybe you won't.
Okay. 7 for iffy, 8 for Tavumile, 7 for Yezi.
I would say all of you see this because it's pretty evident. You can see that the first page of the book is ripped out.
Oh.
And as Thalen opens it, you can see him kind of like look down and look up and look down and then start speaking. And there's like a jagged like rip in the page.
I think Iffy goes,
Before you say anything, were you going to say something? Go ahead and roll a history check.
It's a map, yeah? The map that Iffy has?
Yes, but also go ahead and roll the history check.
Nat 20.
Oh, goodness. You, and this is evident to you also with him speaking, but the play is being put on in common.
Yes.
Yes. So, so all that is to say, Frungit said that he,
Elvish isn't his native language.
He wouldn't know the play.
Yeah.
Clearly, I mean, friggin' Thalen speaks common, so that's not an issue.
Yeah.
He wouldn't know the play. But the other guy said that he knows the play, and his daughter put it on. There's a good chance. Yeah. That part of the idea of putting it on in common. Also, Meredith didn't have any Elvish books, so this one was in common.
Yeah.
So part of the idea behind putting it on in common was because it would be like a translation, so it would be.
Okay.
Yeah. So you can do some business, but you can worry about it less because it's unlikely that he would have heard the play put on in common.
Okay. I think if he thinks about being like, oh, I'll give him the page and just be like, oh yeah, we had to write a map or whatever. But then she's like, well, I don't know, because it's showing how to get there from the orphanage. Which might
Thalen, dude, how bad would that have been? You flip it around and Thalen holds up this piece of paper that's like map to Talenthi from where we came from.
And so I think that if he's like, you know what, he's got it.
He can do it. And he's going to, let me see if he remembers.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. So he kind of like stutters for a second, starts speaking, and he says, they had been searching for so long for the great tree, and as it appeared before them, and as he says that, he continues kind of to step out, he like stretches one arm out and is still like looking at the book. All of the animals that surrounded him rejoiced and danced about in the splendor of the tree.
I feel like Iffy kind of grabs both of them and is just like, all right, and like starts doing that around Thalen.
Okay, what good roll performance for everybody. You can decide if you want to roll as disadvantage as somebody.
No, I think that Yezi's pretty like, I will adapt to whatever is put in front of me. And I think that Tavumile is so like, this is fun. Like, we're dancing, all right. And I feel like Iferson's just holding both of their hands to indicate like, we're gonna, do some nonsense around him. Should I use anyone's? Is it flat? Just a flat roll?
Do the highest plus.
Tavumile's +4.
Ooh.
22.
Oh, snap. So, as you kind of, like, go together, like, you guys start dancing around Thalen, you can see him kind of, like, he takes that, and he's like, and the trees swayed in kind, and together the splendor of nature filled the air, and it was the colors of the sunset were visible through the trees' branches. And someday, again, he will see this. He will return to this space. And he will be one again with nature. But first, the prince, and he looks at
Yezi. And I feel like Iferson lets go of Yezi's hand, but continues holding on to Tavumile and steps back behind Thalen again with Tavumile in tow.
Mm-hmm. Had a long journey in front of him.
And I feel like kind of Yezi just like looks kind of solemnly off to the distance.
Mm-hmm. And if he ever were to return home without having achieved his goal, the tree would be no more. And he kind of like folds in on himself, like puts his head on the ground. The tree that had begun as just a sprout and had sprung up into this beautiful life would not be. And you see him, like, he's like holding the book, still looking down at it. And you can see him kind of like, he gets to the bottom where there's some words at the page. Would not be. And the princess...
I feel like Iferson kind of pushes Tavumile forward, and she like stands up and kind of goes to the front.
Would not be found. And
I feel like Tavumile's kind of like looking around, just absentmindedly, and I think that Yezi turns to look at Tavumile.
And the hideous monster.
Iferson kind of like, I think that Iferson stands up behind Thalen and just is like looming over him because she's so much taller than he is.
Would prevail.
And I feel like both Tavumile and Yezi look at Iferson and she kind of smiles like menacingly.
Was that good, or do you want more? I mean, that was the intro.
Yeah, so. I do have to. We gotta really get going.
I'm gonna roll. Oh, I mean, I'd say that was enough. But I will say, I mean, I know you said it was going to be different, a little avant-garde, but I didn't. That was quite different from the initial, intro to the play.
Oh well, we got ours from a translation book. Is in common, and that common's like a direct translational language. That's why Yendori Ti'al Talenthi in common. It's Talenthi Castletown. Like, it's ridiculous sounding.
Right. Well, can I see the playbook? Yes, I don't see why not, but you'll notice that, and he's gonna come towards them holding the book. You'll notice that the first page is missing because we didn't want it to hold back our creative spirit, right?
Yeah. Like I said, it was kind of improvisational, it's a little different intro every time.
oh, so the intro changes every time.
Yeah. It's just kind of whatever Dharma's here is feeling.
Yes, and of course, Common isn't my first language either, so I'm working on that. So I apologise if my wording was slightly odd. Oh, it was fine. I wouldn't have picked up on it. You seemed a bit nervous, though. I'd say maybe work on that. Yes, well, performing...
Well, two guards in front of us, one of them being a critic.
Exactly, it's one of our first times performing in front of
really
strangers.
Interesting people.
Right, extremely interesting people, quite helpful people.
You're kind of like friends now. We know a lot about you, Frongit. Did I say it right?
It's close enough, I guess. Anyway, well, I mean, it was quite entertaining, I would say. Would you mind doing a bit more?
Well, we really got to get going.
Oh, go on now.
All right.
Give me, I want to say, this was just the beginning, right?
Yeah.
Let's do, a climactic scene. Something with some action.
Some action?
To get, so I can really, get in there with the notes and tell you what I think.
All right, but I gotta say, this is gonna be the last little bit, because
that's very much up to us, isn't it?
Are you gonna keep us here all day?
No. I just want you to know that. Do you want to go through?
All right.
I'd like to see a bit more.
Fine. We'll do a bit more.
He's gonna, smile at you and sit down. Go ahead, roll a perception check as everybody. Might as well. They're all there.
10 as Iffy. 6 as Tavumile. 12 as Yezi.
Yezi sees that freaking Frungit kind of looks at the other guard in a sort of a knowing way. Something's passing between them two.
Can she roll insight on that?
Yeah.
12.
It looks like the guard that said that to her, there's something not necessarily afoot, he's trying to do something, but it seems like it's something. It's more than it's more than he just wants you to be there doing the play.
Okay.
There's some sort of game to his whatever, or some sort of. There's some other layer to it than just I want to see you do this play because it was entertaining and I want to give you more notes.
Okay. I think Yezi kind of keeps that in mind, and her eyes kind of stay on him for a second, and then she goes back to with the people setting up.
And Thalen is gonna start kind of flipping through the book and kind of hold it out to the other guard to be what part do you want to do? I mean, there's so many. And they're kind of having that conversation. Is there anything that you want to Yezi wants to try and kind of communicate to the world, or what?
I think probably to Iffy. She's just gonna say quietly, there's something else going on. They don't care about the play. I don't know what, but just keep that in mind. Alright. Well, ain't nothing we can do about it now. I mean, if they don't let us leave, we'll figure it out. What are you talking about? Nothing. It's fine. Have you found the part yet?
And as they kind of he's looking over his shoulder, looking for whatever part he wants you to do next, and you all start getting ready for that part, and Thalen goes, the sword of the, starts in on his narration. The sword of the great beast pierced the air as the prince looked on with fear in his heart, but resolve there as well.
Yeah.
Somewhere else, some folks are making their way to basically your current position.
All right.
So,
how far, like, how long had they been traveling by carriage at that point? Like, by the time that they reached the guards?
like 3 hours.
Okay, so they're quite a distance
Yeah,
ahead.
and Senthet had quoted 5.
Yeah, so they're
there.
basically 2 hours from the castle, but they're 3 hours from where they started.
Yeah, and they're 2 hours by carriage. And I mean, like, Senthet's not like, yeah, like making the carriage run really fast, but he's going at a, a good speed.
Faster than
Trying to
folks
get
can
you
walk.
there with some time to, as quickly as before nightfall. It's
Yeah.
Tavumile. He doesn't want to be, out there. So, there's 2 hours left by carriage from your position. So if you were to think between Ethiad and Lucian, Fingers, Meredith, and the kids, and the little Daisy, is 3 hours by carriage.
Okay.
And I would say probably like 6 walking.
Okay.
So it's pretty a good distance away.
Yeah.
So does that answer your question?
Yes.
Cool. So they're all moving in that direction. And at this point, it's been about, like, that's from them leaving. At this point, it's been about an hour of them walking. And the current kind of state of things is that San and Leela are taking turns holding any kid. Like, they're, like, piggyback, like, under the arm, like, doing stupid crap.
Yeah.
Like, Meredith is holding one of the kids, like, walking, and you can hear her, like, make noises of complaint about how miserable she is.
Yeah.
Lucian is, like, limping now, like, very obviously. Like, he was kind of, like, limping before, but now he's, like, going through it.
Okay.
And has already, like, protested against assistance once, like, that kind of place. And Fingers looks like he is going to fall asleep, like, while walking. Like, he's just, like, doing, like, shutting his eyes, like, head picks up, because there's nothing.
Yeah.
Like, Lucian is very, like, head on a swivel or whatever, and Fingers is like, maybe I would be doing that if I wasn't stayed up for almost the entire night last night. So, that's kind of what you're doing right now.
Like, Ethiad is kind of just walking, like, I think a little bit off on his own, like, not particularly next to anyone or anything really. And just kind of seeing all this, and he's just like, okay, I mean, long walks are my jam. Oh, okay. Maybe just shut up, Ethiad. I don't...
Are you talking to somebody, man?
What?
Or are you talking to yourself?
I wasn't saying anything at all.
Oh. I thought you said something.
No. Did I?
Hey, Lucian. Lucian, he's gonna, like, and Lucian's gonna be like, what have we been talking about, mate? Dave, well, I don't know. I'm sorry. You're right. I'm sorry. And, like, Fingers is gonna, like, smack himself in the, forehead and be like, Dave, how long, man, till we get there? What, to the castle town? Tomorrow, mate. Well, I don't know. You don't know where that place is? Like, that tavern? He mentioned it, the little guy?
The one that the little rat boy mentioned. Wasn't that just, like, a weird coincidence?
What we're going? How long are we gonna walk for? Is what I mean. He didn't mention how far away it was. We're not walking there, mate. If they happen to stop, well, happen to come upon us while we're on our way there, that's one thing. We're not gonna seek it out. I don't even know where it is. All right, well, if you need me, I'm gonna be asleep.
Why don't we just, like, take a break or something?
Take a break? That sounds great. And Meredith is gonna, like, put down the kid who's like, protest. Oh, I suppose that'd be all right.
Okay.
There's a tree over there we can shady. And the friggin', whole congregation kind of moves over in that direction. and Fingers is gonna like sit underneath the tree. He gets there first because he's the most eager for a break. He's like sit underneath the tree and like lean his back against it. Everyone is moving in that direction, and Lucian and Meredith are kind of left behind because Meredith doesn't like walk as fast, and Lucian is hurt. So you all kind of get there first.
I think that Ethia doesn't sit down, but he like now that he's in the shade, he kind of like opens his eyes and adjusts some more. Like, okay, this is more acceptable. And I want him to kind of like glance around, like just kind of look around him to see if he can see anything that is familiar to him that is edible.
Okay.
And could he roll with advantage?
Yeah, because he's got knowledge. Yeah, go for it.
Cool. Make it a survival.
Yeah, okay. That's good.
17 for Ethiad.
You see around you that there is like a bush that has some pink berries that you know are good to eat, and also you're not allergic to them, so it's even better.
I think that Ethiad sees it, he's like, sick. And he goes and he starts like
Pog. He walks over.
Yeah, he walks over and he starts to like kind of just take all of it off of that bush and like any surrounding ones. And he's just kind of, he's like, has his shirt out as like a little basket.
Lucian is kind of like Fingers has like sat down. He's kind of like squatting on the ground with his back against a tree. Like as you walk over there, you can kind of see him. And he's like in a shaft of sunlight with his eyes shut. And Lucian's like, does that hurt your eyes, mate? And he's like, they're not open. Also, it's warm. What are you talking about? It's so cold. I mean, I'm hot from the walking, but it's cold out. And Lucian's like, what are you talking about? It's cold out, mate.
Okay, your special circumstances.
What are you doing over there?
Oh, getting a little snack.
Oh, give me a plant name. Give me a pink berry name.
Winclay.
Oh, that's good.
Okay.
Dang, bro. They're frungit berries. Oh, those Winclay berries.
Is that what they're called?
That's what Tav calls them.
Oh, I never knew what they were called, but I could eat these. I ate them all of the time. They're not very good.
I've had them before.
They're really sour.
Is that bad? And you can see he's like making his way over towards you.
No, I don't think that it's bad, but some people don't like them.
Well, I hope you.
Okay.
He's gonna like give you like a funny look. He kind of like he's having this conversation from kind of far from you. And he like gets over to you, and he does kind of what you do with his shirt, kind of pulls it forward, and starts like putting some in his shirt.
I think that they're really good. I like them because I'm not allergic, frankly.
There's a good reason.
So yeah. And they grow back really quickly, so they're like, not a limited resource, I guess.
I used to eat them all the time.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Why?
Food was in short supply.
Yeah.
But it was risky.
Why?
Did you ever get sick from eating them before? We did.
Why would you get sick from eating them?
Because the high elves figured out that we were doing that, and so they would poison them.
Really? Oh. How would they do that?
I don't know. Pour something on them, dip them in something. I don't know how they do anything.
Why would somebody mess with food?
What are you talking about, mate? They had enough.
Oh.
So, If you ever got sick from some, that was why, I'm sure.
No, I was very good at avoiding places where that was happening. Every time that I would get to a town, I would try to. I mean, I didn't speak very good Common, so I would like hold out like a map and then ask which areas war was happening, and then have people circle it. Well, you got to do what you have available.
Which areas war was happening at?
I didn't know what anyone was saying to me after the time.
I understand. It's just funny.
And well, people would circle little areas on the map, and then sometimes people would add more information to the map. And then I lost it, and I was really sad because I knew everything that was in like every, I'm not good at distance, but basically most of Yennefer.
Well, I'd say there's quite a lot.
Yeah, I mean, I still remember a lot of it.
Do you?
Mm-hmm.
Like what? Anything interesting? Or is it not relevant anymore?
Why would it not be relevant anymore?
Well, I don't know, time's passed.
I guess so. In the Toadsfroth region, there's this town that has a tavern called something like the Small Trout or something like that. I can't quite remember. But
must have gone to the same name book or something. Little Daisy, Small Trout.
Like, oh, that's it. Yeah, I didn't think about that. It's almost like the same person came up with them. So anyways.
There's like a branch.
Yeah. But this was in the Toadsfroth region, and they have a lot of like mountains in the Toadsfroth region, or like I don't know if they're high up. That's for sure. And there's like caves. There's a lot of cave systems in the Toadsfroth region.
Is that so?
Mm-hmm. I never wanted to like mess with that at all because I was always scared that I would like get lost. I would sometimes sleep in the caves because it like a protection, but also sometimes I would do that and then find out that something was living in it and then have to vacate.
I had that experience as well.
Oh, really?
Mm. It's trying to hide a load of guys in a cave. It was I don't remember where we were, probably Talenthi and the Withway border, but it wasn't, we thought it was empty. We sent loads of guys down it with torches, sort of peek around so if we could see any like crap or something, dead animals. Thought it was all fine. I guess it's some sort of summer vacation home for owlbear or something.
Yes, yeah. I saw one too. It was like asleep though, so I very quietly left.
That's good. We had to kill an owlbear.
Really?
It ate well that night though, so I guess it's all fun. I had a few stitches to give out.
Really?
Yeah.
I think that if it came down to that, I would just accept my fate.
Good. Roll a insight check. Yeah.
16.
You can see that as you guys kind of like finish up getting all the berries you can off this bush, you start kind of like walking back to the rest of the folks. And you can see Lucian talking. He's kind of making a face that you haven't really seen him make before. He looks very like wistful. But he as you notice that he kind of turns away from you and starts walking towards the rest of the group.
Okay. I think that I think that Ethiod kind of like catches up a little bit because I think that he's kind of oddly excited that there's somebody that has very similar experience, and I think that he's just like, it's weird that we have a lot of similar like experiences and stuff.
Yeah, it is.
I think that it would have been nice to have somebody be there, like somebody to talk to.
It was.
I would talk to. Anyways.
Lucian like rolls his eyes.
What?
Nothing, mate. And he like, opens his mouth to say something, and he just goes, "Oh."
But you're right.
Yeah.
Do you have anything else that you could do to help yourself?
It's just pain. It's all. I mean, I could probably do something about that, but I don't want to waste it. If that's all it is.
Oh.
It's I can feel it.
Feel what?
It's sort of fragile.
Oh, your leg? Okay.
What is that?
It's gross.
He like hides his face, like cracking up.
Fragile bones.
Yeah, well, you know, it was broken earlier today. So it doesn't matter if it should hurt because it'll make me careful. Does that make sense? He says I can't do anything about it.
I guess so.
Yeah, so I've just got to be careful. Like he like rolls his eyes kind of like inwardly at himself, and like writes himself like lost a couple berries, whatever.
Yeah, you're dropping food. Disrespectful.
I'm sorry. What, do you want to take mine or something? You don't trust me.
What?
He's gonna like hold over his like shirt full of berries over yours and say,
"No, it's fine. I'm just giving you shit."
but I definitely can't pick it up with this. He's like holding the berries, so.
Oh, you can't bend over.
I mean, I could, but I think I'd drop everything, so.
Oh.
Unless you want to pick it all up.
So you could squat, you know, do a little vertical squat, and then.
I certainly could not do that right now.
Oh, you fragile bones.
I mean, I could sacrifice myself for 3 berries if it means that much to you.
No.
He's like, shakes his head at you and like goes to sit down.
I feel like probably that's the like first genuine smile that Lucian has seen of Ethiod's. Like, because I feel like he's like, we made it out of the town. And then also he's like, Lucian seems like maybe he understands.
Lucian gets me. And Lucian like walks back over to where everybody is. And as he kind of like walks over, everyone's kind of sitting on the ground. Leela is like making a big show over like holding a big leaf over Meredith's head, and she's like, "Will you cut it out? It's fine. I'm fine. I'm just." And she's like, "Don't worry, Mum. It'll be alright." You know, she's like fanning her with the leaf, and like Meredith's like kicking her away. Neeleth kind of comes like tottering up to Lucian, and he's like, "Oh, what do you want? You want to see what I've got?" And she like looks up at him with her big old eyeballs. What were they called? Wind clay berries?
Yeah.
Is that right? And he's gonna like kind of like put one hand on Finger's head. He just like palms his head, and Finger's like, "What the heck?" And like uses Fingers to help himself sit down. And Fingers is just like, "What the heck, man? I was asleep." And Lucian's like, "Well, you should have been awake and looking." And Finger's like, "I can't see anyway. You're sitting in the sunlight, mate." Like sits down. He's like, I've got sort of lunch and sort of just some berries. If you had found them. He like looks back over his shoulder at you.
They're just berries.
Winclay berries. And Mary's like, oh, I haven't had those in a long time. They're awful.
See, I told you that people don't like them.
It's an acquired taste, I guess.
They're great.
I've not acquired it. And she's gonna like take friggin' mom's got everything in their bags, the nature of moms, and she's gonna take out like another shirt, like a spare child shirt, and kind of spread it out on the ground, and Lucian like unburdens himself from many berries.
Althea does the same.
You can see he's gotta like do some twister a little bit because he can't really like super good bend his leg, but also the shirt's really tight, so he has to like do like a weird lean, and they like slowly roll into the thing.
Man, Lucian, if you get any more jacked, you're going to burst out of the seams.
Do you want to see if I could?
What? It burst out of your shirt.
But might be, I could feel it a little bit. And you see, he like moves his shoulders, and you hear like a little rip, and he like looks up at you like with eyes, like big eyes, and figures like, "Hey, that's actually my shirt. If you could chill out."
Also, I didn't paint your chest, so I think that maybe if you were shirtless,
I'm not gonna rip it off, mate. It's just.
Well, you said, let's see if I can burst the seams, and then I'm assuming that means ruining the entire shirt.
No, forget it. It was a joke anyway, mate.
Sort of
I ate some berries. What?
What?
What did you say?
Nothing.
What did you say?
Nothing.
He's gonna like pick up a berry and eat it. He's like, goodness.
Sour.
Just a bit.
Althea takes like a whole handful and shoves them in his mouth.
When you open your eyes, Lucian is giving you a very peculiar look.
What?
What?
What are you looking at me like that?
I'm not looking at you any sort of way.
Can you roll an insight?
Yeah.
14.
He was looking at you very sort of like the way that he was looking at you when you thought you saw Luta, and you were very like, freaking out about that. Mm-hmm. He was looking definitely more concerned, but when he kind of was getting you to like calm down and lie down and stuff, he's looking at you in the same kind of way.
You're looking at me funny.
Not looking at you funny, mate. And he's gonna turn around and like open Fingers' hand, and Fingers is gonna. He feels like Lucian's hand in his hand. He's gonna like pull his hand away, and Lucian's gonna be like, "Mate, I'm just trying to give you some berries." And he's like, "Kid, just leave me alone. Let me sleep." And he's like pulled his hand away from him. He's be like, "I don't even like."
You don't even know what they are.
Wacky berries, anyway. Yeah, I do. I've had them before. Like, you know.
What?
What?
Who what?
I've been around the block.
Oh, huh? Me.
So.
Me too.
There's that. I don't like them, thank you. And he's gonna, like, friggin' shut his eyes and go back to sleep.
But that's not really the point, though, right?
What's the point, huh?
Nutrients. Energy.
I don't
food.
I don't need that. I don't want that. You know what else gives you nutrients and energy? Is it being asleep. You will tell you something, mate. I don't want that. And Lucian's gonna like roll his eyes and say, "Whoa, wait a minute." And he's gonna open up his bag as the kids are kind of like playing with the berries, like smashing them in between their fingers and stuff. And Meredith's like, "That's food. Ooh, yummy." Love the way that tastes, right, kids? And like Sana and Leela are like, "We actually like them.
They're really good."
Yeah, I mean, they're not like, you know, I wish we had, like, you know,
what?
Something that wasn't just berries, but...
Well, can Althea make one more survival check to see if there's anything? 12.
You look around, you don't see anything, but you smell something very familiar. It's definitely food, something that you really like.
Okay.
And it's quite near you.
Well, what?
Are you kind of following your nose?
Yeah, I think that he stands up and he's like,
you follow it. You don't even need to stand up because you follow it to Lucian, as he pulls out of his bag a loaf of bread, like a small one, it's more like a dinner roll sized amount of bread. He's like, I thought I had one of these.
where did you get that?
Sort of I made it, and sort of Tav made it.
What?
Well, she made the bread, and he's gonna rip off a piece of it, and when he rips it off, as it pulls away and the kind of like glutinous pieces get ripped away from the bread, it pulls with it brand new glutinous pieces, and then like heals, if you will, over with like a crust where it used to be. And
what the fuck?
he puts a piece in his mouth, and he's like, it's quite a useful trick, I'd say.
A trick? A trick? If I knew how to do that, do you know how easy my life would have been? That's so... What?
It took me a while to figure out how to do this.
How do you do that?
Well, you've got to make a potion. Basically, you make bread, and he's like gonna like rip off a piece and like put it in his mouth. You can see as he takes it out, everyone's like brain is like brain, like they turn to look at him. And he like goes to put the piece in his mouth, and he sees Neoleth like staring up at him with her little eyes, and then he like rolls his eyes and hands her the piece. And he's like, "Oh, give it out though, because if you rip too much off at once, then it gets weird for a bit. So it's fine though. It's just bread, but you make a potion, and it makes it regenerate."
How do you make the potion?
Oh, golly, Ethiod, it's quite a few ingredients. I've got it written down somewhere at the house, but I've not need to make another one, so I've not used it that much just for like a snack. I mean, and he pats his stomach.
Just for a snack.
Yeah, I mean, contribute to our earlier problem, but maybe next time I should pour it on a carrot or something like that. And he's gonna like pound fingers in the chest with his like knuckles, and fingers is like, man, I swear, yeah, put him up. You wake me up one more time. Is that bread? He's gonna like friggin' Lucian like hit him in the chest with the back of his hand holding some bread, and then just put the bread like in his face. And Fingers like eats it out of his hands with his mouth. He's like, where did that come from? What, you've been holding out on us? And Lucian's like, well, sort of, actually, I have. Oh, I didn't know. I thought I had it with me, but he's like ripping some off, and like rips you off a piece. Like a really big piece, and you can see the bread kind of like struggle to regenerate for a sec. He's like, "Come on, little guy, you got it.
Well,
I need you."
It's fine.
Whoa.
Oh, everyone else can eat stuff.
I think you would shut your mouth.
For...
Actually, open your mouth. And he's like gonna rip you off another piece and hand it to you, and the little bread is like wiggling around in his hand. I promise it won't hurt you, mate. I wouldn't give you anything that will hurt you. I've been eating it for a long time, really.
I don't think that... It's fine.
It might be good with the berries as well.
Yeah, but it's okay. Son, you wanted one?
Oh, I've got one already.
Oh, Leela.
Oh, we're sharing.
You don't have to share.
Why?
Here. He like takes it from Lucian and gives it to them.
Oh, that's yours, it's
no.
And they're gonna like go back to eating theirs.
No.
He's gonna like hand some to Meredith, and Meredith's gonna look at you and be like, "Eat up, kiddo." Huh? What was all that talk about nutrients and all that stuff?
I feel like Ethion looks so visibly uncomfortable. He's like, I don't want this. He's just holding it, like looking at it, like.
I guess I owe you a favor.
What?
You don't really owe me anything.
What?
I was going to say it's a favour to me, but I think I've asked quite a few favours. Don't think that's right. But doctor's orders, does that help? You've got to eat something, mate.
I am. I'm eating the berries that are here.
It's not very substantial. Mate, it regenerates.
Okay.
He's gonna like roll his eyes and rip off some more for himself.
Yeah, I feel like Ethiod's gonna try to just put the bread in like his pocket or something, but he's gonna try to do it with stealth.
Good. Do sleight of hand. And Lucian's gonna roll disadvantaged perception because he goes to rip off some more of the bread. And as he goes to do that, he realizes it's not in his lap anymore, and Fingers has it and is like tearing off chunks of it. He's like, "Oh, mate, what I say, if you rip off too much, I don't want to break it." And Fingers is like, "It's a piece. What do you mean you can break? Oh my gosh!" Like slamming bread. So go ahead, roll your thingy.
23.
All right. You say you want to stick it in your pocket?
Yeah.
Okay, so you go to stick it in your pocket. And nobody notices. They continue their like back and forth, and you hear Meredith go, "Mish, I swear, just give it back the bread. When you want to break it, we don't have any. Come on." And Fingers is gonna be like, "Okay, I'm sorry. I just, God, you said, what is she? Tavumile made this like with like out of ingredients? Yeah, she's quite a good baker. So,
how else do you make bread, Fingers?
Well, I mean."
With not ingredients, with just the
well, no, I just, I've gotten stuff from, bakeries before and stuff like that, but I've never, and you see him, he like looks at Meredith, and when he looks at Meredith is like stone-faced looking back at him. He's like, "What? Huh? What do you want to say about my bread? What's wrong with my bread?" "I'm not saying anything about your bread, Mom. I know you've been working on it for a really long time. I don't mean it that way. I was just saying I was surprised that someone could make something that was that good. It was really, you can't tell me that, they're like, back. She's just like, I've talked to the bakers and they've given me a starter and I've been feeding it, and I guess all that's out the window, but I was making progress." "Yeah, Mom, of course you were. Of course you're making progress."
Is it hard to make bread?
"Well, sweetheart, I suppose it depends on who you ask."
Oh, I've never made food before. Well, I've cooked like squares over fire.
That's making food, mate.
Yeah.
But bread is quite involved. At least, I mean, when Tav and Mum have made it before, it takes all day. It's got to like sit there and, I don't know, think about its future or something. I don't know what's doing. Really, you make sort of like a lump of dough, and then it just sort of lasers about all day, getting bigger, and then you cook it the next day. I don't know. Don't ask me. I just know that.
That doesn't sound that hard.
Well, I mean, I don't think it's hard to make. It's just involved, Takes a lot. Yeah, it's not hard. It's really easy. And she like crosses her arms, and Sana and Leela are like cracking up, and Lucian's like, "Yeah, I mean, this is just a normal one. I asked her to make a normal one, but she made one with raisins in it, but I didn't know if that would, I think it's all got to sort of, I don't know, stale, like get rot at the same rate in order for it to work, because I tried it with, it doesn't matter.
You tried it with what?
Other things, and it's weird if they don't, because basically what you'd have then is the bread would be alright for long. It sort of preserves it, but you rip a piece off and it's got like a rotten raisin in it. I don't want that perpetually. And the stuff takes me so long to make. I don't, the potion, I mean, I'm not going to waste my time, but getting it to make a piece of bread with no anything in it was quite an adventure in itself.
Why was it hard?
Oh, she would get excited about the idea of, I guess, me eating something nice. So should we put like nuts in it or something? I told you it's got to be plain. And I mean, if you saw my jacket, you would understand. But
a jacket.
Yeah.
Why would you wear a jacket?
I always do. No, and not now, but usually.
Oh, you were wearing... Yeah. I forgot you were wearing one when you came to town.
Yeah. I've got to though, but it's not really much of a jacket anymore, so...
Oh. Well...
I think it would be quite noteworthy.
What? Wearing a jacket that's not really
well,
a
it's
jacket?
in tatters, I mean. Look, I was... I don't know, the exact person everybody was looking for. Or some sort of, criminal or something.
Oh.
It's noteworthy. It's my point. It's all singed in that, so... Anyway. The point is it's useful.
I would love for you to teach me how to make that at some point.
What, bread?
No.
I don't know how to make bread, mate.
Potion.
I could do that, I guess. I mean... It's really hard.
Well, finding food is really hard.
Well, I'll see what I could do. Anyway, we've all had a snack. You want some water? He, passes around the water and puts it back in his bag. And everybody kind of looks around and starts, straightening their clothes, picking themselves up. Meredith's like, all right, kids. You can see Ekthu is the one that she's been holding. Mm-hmm. Since you guys got out of the tunnel, he's been, crying because he was so scared by that thief. And so she's like, come on, little guy, it's all right. And he's just, holding on to, snuggling his face into her. And she's just like, I think you're going to look a lot like Mish when you grow up. She's picking up this big I think what I say he's 10 or something like that.
Yeah.
That size kid, and she's just like Sana Leela, and they're just cool, and they Sana puts him on her back, and the other kids are getting up and stuff. All the berries are gone. She puts her shirt back. Lucian grabs Finger's shoulder, wakes him up. He's like, okay, I guess we're gonna keep walking. Great. And stands up. Lucian kind of puts his hand on the tree, goes to stand himself up. Give me a hand.
Okay. He sticks his hand out.
He's gonna take it, and you gotta kind of lean back a little bit,
Oh, Jesus. Help me out a little bit.
I'm helping you, mate. He pulls himself up, and he's kind of sheepishly looking at you, and puts the water back in his bag. He's holding it in his hand, and goes and takes the bread out, and kind of, before he puts it back, he kind of sticks it out to you and say, you should probably take this. You need it more than I do.
Take what?
This. He hands you the piece of bread.
No.
Why? Just take it, mate. You can be the keeper. If you're hungry, have a bite. It will run out, though. So the way that works is it's only got enough juice in it for a day. So if you take a bite and it doesn't regenerate, don't have more, because if you eat the whole thing, then it won't be able to the next day. It's got to build up enough to be able to do that. So
you should keep it.
Just take it, mate.
No.
Well, I'm leaving it here then, and he drops it on the ground.
Oh, he picks it up.
Mm-hmm.
He puts it in his pocket.
And Lucian kind of chuckles to himself. And you can see that as he gets up and starts walking, he's really going through it. He's super. It's clearly he's uncomfortable. And you all just start continuing walking on your way.
Yeah.
fingers as he's kind of like looking back at you guys, like stretching in the sun on the path as like all the kids stand there. And Meredith, you've seen a few people like passing you, but it's pretty quiet.
Yeah.
This is like you're approaching a more main road area, but it's still pretty boonies.
Yeah.
He's like walking, the group starts walking that way, and you hear Sana kind of go, "Do you think that kid's actually come? The little one. What's his name? I think it was Finch, something like that."
Is she talking to Ethiad?
I think he's just talking in general.
I don't know. He was
I hope he does. Seems like he'd be fun,
fun.
Yeah, entertaining, right?
I guess.
Yeah, I mean, he seemed, and how useful would that be, huh? Like a place to stay. Or a bed.
Well, I don't understand why we wouldn't be able to just stay there anyway. Is there a inn, a tavern? They want people to stay there.
Well, you're missing the point, kid. We got a lot of wanted folks here. I mean, we might be putting the place at risk, huh?
Well, but they don't know that we're wanted.
Yeah, but
Wait, maybe the kid knows that we're wanted.
Well, I mean, he definitely knows that we're wanted, but that's a bit underhanded.
Is it?
Well, I mean, I think that they should know what they're getting into, Nice people letting us stay there. Hopefully at a discount.
Why would they be involved at all?
I mean, loads of gods descend on their pissing in or something like that. I mean, I think it would be alright as long as we keep to ourselves, but just so they're aware. You can see it's kind of yeah.
Okay.
He looks kind of unsure of what the thing that he wanted to say, if you should say it.
Okay. Sure, I don't know.
I mean, yeah, first of all, the kid knows everything he heard. I don't know if his parents will believe him, but I don't think that we should. I think we should decide what we're going to tell him now.
Oh.
Specifically, what the plan, if we do come upon them. It's been about long enough that I'd imagine.
I mean, I don't know what we could tell them without telling them everything.
Well, I mean, I think you can say that there's some we got attacked by someone who's looking for one of the orphans, and we don't know if they'll come back again, but we had to get out of there. We need a place to stay. I think that, simple as that. And anything the kid decides to tell his parents, I mean, we can't do anything about that. I guess I feel so wrong about it. It's like...
Well, I mean, I did say that we could sleep outside, and nobody was down with that idea, so...
That's dangerous. If it was just us.
Isn't either option dangerous? And also one is morally grey. What?
I think they're equally morally grey. Put a bunch of kids' lives in danger.
Why would their lives be in danger?
You've slept outside quite a lot.
Yes.
It could be dangerous. We're not sleeping out. We'll find a place to stay.
Just... okay. I mean, well, then you're just going to have to feel bad about it.
I am. I intend to.
Okay.
We can't tell them everything. So we might as well just So that is true. I mean, if Talenthi guards are looking at me, I'd imagine that as long as the parents play dumb, it's not like they get in trouble. They might get a bit, Tavern get a bit banged up, but it is what it is. I mean, I'd imagine the same people that are looking for you, Ithiel, are the people that are looking for fingers. I mean, say from the Thieves Guild, I'd imagine. The Withway clan are looking for all of us, but I don't think they'll appear at a tavern on the Talenthi side of the border. And really nobody's looking for Meredith, the orphans, besides maybe the same people who are looking for you, Ithiel.
Oh. That's,
All that is to say, I think it will be alright. I just don't like the idea that we're potentially putting somebody in harm's way just for the sake of... Well, it's for good reason, I just don't like it. Yeah, I don't think we can do anything about it. I think it's just going to be what it's going to be. Hello, maybe they won't come, huh? Maybe they won't come and this is all for nothing. I mean, we'll find some place to say, look, if we come upon some kind of tavern between here and this way there, we're gonna stay there. I don't care if it's just a little Daisy, big Daisy, medium-sized Daisy. I'm not interested. If we're gonna, find somewhere to stay, we're gonna have to tell them something. So it might as well be... You hear the sound of horses approaching from behind. What's Finch doing right now?
In the carriage?
Yeah.
Is it a soft top carriage? Like it's covered in like canvas?
Is it a convertible carriage?
Or does it have like a hard top to it, like a wooden carriage?
It's got a hard top to it.
Finch is standing on top of it, like balancing.
I think that's him, innit? Like pointing at you, and you hear your dad saying, "Finch, how many times have I told you that that's dangerous?"
That's them.
What?
That's the people I want to go on an adventure with.
Oh, the group up there.
Yes.
Well, I guess this is serendipitous.
Hello.
Hello. Like your dad also waves. And you all hear that, and Finger's like, oh my gosh, that's the kid. Is him. That's crazy.
I think Finch kind of is like, I'm gonna get, you don't have to be mad at me anymore. You don't have to be mad at me anymore because I'm getting down. And he, like, hops off the side of the carriage and friggin', like, tumbles. I feel like he, like, kind of gets hurt.
Finch! Well, roll damage.
Friggin' what dice?
You just jump off a moving carriage?
Yeah.
Like a D... How many hit points do you have?
21.
I'd say like a D10. Are you serious? Okay, you...
Hold on. Friggin' good lord.
You have 11 hit points now? Okay. Fitch! Your dad, like, stops the carriage. You go to, like, you've done this before as, like, a little giggly joke. You're just so excited about the prospect of going on an adventure. You jump off the carriage and you go to, like, catch yourself, but you realize that there's, like, a little kind of, like, where water is supposed to go, like, on the edge of the thing. And so one of your legs catches you earlier than the other one, so you slam it into the ground. And as you do that, you lose your balance and kind of like go to catch yourself on your arms.
Yeah, oh no.
And as you catch yourself, you feel something in your forearm.
Oh no.
Snap.
No. Oh, jeez.
Finch! And your dad is like, woe to the horses. Like, freaking... Meredith, 12 kids, Fingers, Ethion, and Lucian are just like watching you like happily speed towards them. And they're like, you know, going off to the side to make room. And then they just watch you on purpose jump off the carriage. Freaking Lucian's gonna be like, what on earth was that? And he's like starting like to like hasten towards Finch.
Oh man,
Fingers is like he's like running over like Meredith. Everybody is like running in that direction. Finch,
I think I broke something.
Finch,
oh,
what was that about, Finch?
I don't know.
My little boy is hurt. And he's gonna like pick you up, like scoop you up.
Oh, be gentle, father.
I'm sorry, my son. I'm sorry, my dear son. He like scoops you up in his arms, like picks you up and is like sitting on the side, and you feel something wet on your face and you realize that it's your dad's tears. Are you okay, Finch?
Oh.
What hurts, Finch?
My arm.
And you like stick it out or
it's
something
like weird.
That. Oh, it's like at a weird angle.
That doesn't look right.
Finch, how many times have I told you not to do that?
Well, I don't... A lot.
And yet...
I'm sorry.
And freaking... He's, like, holding you. Like... Ethiad is presumably coming.
Yeah.
You and Fingers get there, first. And Fingers is gonna be like, hey, we met your son, when his arm wasn't broken. And he told you about us.
Fingers.
What?
Chill out for a second.
What's my name?
Dave.
Right. The dad's like looking up at you two like, what is this comedy routine you're performing? And he's gonna say, but do we have good news for you? That guy, and he like points over his shoulder, and Lucian is like limping he's like behind the rest of the group, is a doctor. I know he doesn't look impressive right now, but
he fixed his broken leg. I don't think that he could fix your broken arm to that extent, but I just ow.
He's friggin' your dad like goes to like touch your arm, like mess with it, trying to like, you know, do whatever. And you hear Lucy go, don't touch it. Just leave him there. You can hold him, but just let me have a look. And he like comes up and he's like, hello, my name is,
we've met before.
Right. I actually am a doctor. I'd like to take a look at his arm if that's all right with you. How do I know that? What are your credentials? Show me something to...
Father, my arm hurts. Just let him do it.
Just hurry. Holds out you to him. And Lucian's gonna like... He's like... Take him over to the clearing over here. Off the road. And your dad like carries you over there. Everybody kind of follows Meredith, police, and the kids. And he like lays you down on the like pillowy, you know, grass and leaves and stuff.
This is the end for Finch.
No.
I'm dying.
Alone. Just relax.
Oh, my bones.
And he's
my
gonna...
My wee bones.
Your what bones?
Wee.
Weary.
My wee bones.
And Lucian's gonna like rifle through his bag. And he is going to open up his spells. Lucian's gonna rifle around in his bag. And he's gonna pull out some bandages. And like a splint type thing. And he's gonna like look up at you, Ethiad, and he's gonna like open his mouth, and then he's gonna like shut it.
Foot.
Can you hold his arm still?
Oh, yeah. I feel like Ethiad gets down and he's like, sorry, and he holds it and Doza's like, oh,
careful, mate. Just don't move it. Just hold it still. Fingers.
Oh.
And Fingers is like, He's like, can you hold down his shoulders? What are you going to do to him, man? I'm just going to splint it. I just wanted to stay still while I do it.
Oh.
Relax. It'll be alright. And he's like, gets to work splinting this kid's freaking broken. Sana and Leela are like, awkward angle arm.
Just put me out of my misery.
Finch, you're gonna be alright, Finch.
Just put me out of my misery. It's not worth it.
I'm right here, Finch. And he's like, gets to work kind of like, splinting your arm. And as he kind of finishes up, you feel all of a sudden something that is very cold on your forehead.
Oh, the cold grip of death. Death is approaching. I can see the light.
As you say that, like, Lucian puts his hand on Finch's forehead, and as you say that, Lucian looks up pathetically at Fingers and Evian. Like, he looks so hurt.
I think Evian is cracking up.
He's freaking... That's you, man. The
cold grip of death. Oh, the Grim Weeper.
Oh, mate, you're killing me. I'm gonna give you something.
I'm ready. See Grandpa and Grandma again.
You've got to stop talking. Just listen to me. I'm going to give you something to drink. It's gonna make you feel better, alright?
Is it milk?
Yeah, sort of like milk. I'm gonna get you sat up.
No.
I'm going to give it to you, alright?
I don't know if I have it in me.
Finch.
What?
What have we talked about trying new foods? What's the rhyme for when we try new foods?
When we try new foods, we're in a good mood.
Exactly. So now you've got to try new food and be in a good mood. My little dude. And he's going to... he's gonna, like, squeeze your shoulder. You see, like, one masculine tear on his cheek. And Lucian is going to take out of his bag, like, a little, another potion, and he's gonna, like, pop the cork off, and, he's like, do you want me to give this to you? Do you want to take it yourself?
I don't know if I have the strength within to feed it to myself.
Well, I've got you then.
Oh.
Let that cold grip of death. And he's gonna, like, pour it into your mouth.
Yeah, friggin' Finch is, like, so friggin' feebly, like, tilting his head up. Like, really playing up.
Mate, keep your head up. You're gonna spill it all over the place. Come on now.
I'm drinking it. What do you want from a hurt man?
Gulp, 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 gulp. Like, coughing as it goes down. As it goes into your mouth, you can feel, like, this, like, warmth in your body, just, like, kind of, like, spreading out from where you drink it from, and you feel it kind of gathering in your arm, and you feel this sort of, like, numb, warm, like, pain-killing, and all the, like, if you break something, you can feel it, the if you will, the fragileness of it, and, like, whatever, you can feel, it almost feels like it's being surrounded in, like, warm light that's kind of, like, protecting it from that feeling. So it feels very, like it still is broken. You can tell that it's still, like, tender, but you're able to kind of move your arm around without fear that you're gonna disturb it or anything like that.
Did I get any hit points back?
You got all of them back.
Oh, baby.
You could not possibly get less than 10 hit points back.
Oh, wow. Oh, because of his spells.
His spell ability modifier.
Hold on. Oh, I feel fine, actually.
Lucian, like, well, as I suspected. Tomorrow will probably be a bit sore. And he's, like, turned to, like, look at Finch's dad. If it is, well, I guess it sort of depends if I'm there or not. Anyway, but it'll heal by itself. You just keep it immobilized. Or, well, if I'm there, I can heal it.
Well, we're going on an adventure, so you'll be there.
Oh yes, you're the folks that Finch was talking about, and you can see as you talk, like your dad kind of picks you up in his arms and is just like holding you,
Yeah.
and just stands up, and Lucian gets to his feet. Everybody else is kind of like nearby.
When I turn into an animal, will this whatever you put on my arm?
Oh, that's a good question. Don't do that. You've got to wait for it to heal. But if I come with you, I can do it. But tomorrow I need some time. I need supplies, and I can make something that will heal it.
Completely.
90%. It's close.
90% is a good percentage. If you have 90% profits on
90% profits, that would be unheard of. And your dad like, ah ha, ah ha ha ha, ah ha. Anyway.
What the fuck?
Fingers like wide-eyed looks back at you, Ethion, and is just like, so we met your kid in the tunnel, Finch, he said something about you guys have a tavern.
Yeah, can they stay at the Little Daisy, and then I go on an adventure with them so I can see Lioness when they get to the Yendori Ti'al Talenthi.
Now, pray tell, why are you making such a journey to the Talenthi Castle town? Well, we are sort of an orphanage. It's the reason for all the kids, and we got our orphanage was infiltrated by some not so nice customers, and so we're kind of looking for some sanctuary while we figure stuff out, to be honest.
Sanctuary. See, the Little Daisy can be sanctuary, and then we can put that in the description of the tavern, and good food, good mood, sanctuary.
Now you're thinking, Finch. What a great idea. Why was your orphanage attacked? Well, you see, so we, sometimes I get some kids, and she's like, kind of like looks over at Ekthu.
Mm-hmm.
I get some kids that, they're being looked for, I guess, is the point, and, by not so nice folks, and sometimes, I mean, we haven't had this problem in quite a while, but, every once in a while, and, it just, it's sort of, it's more, it's just safer if we go somewhere else, so that's what we're doing, and, well, why not just book passage with a carriage? And Finch, you said that you met them in the tunnels.
I was a wet.
It's quite a specific way of getting out of Waypoint Town. Yeah, well, we were trying to do it covertly, and we weren't sure who was safe, so that's the way we chose to do it. And those passages down there are crawling with thieves and Assassin's Guild members. That was safe to you.
Well, I was down there.
Well, yes, Finch, but you're capable. And you were a rat.
I was a wet.
What would they steal from a rat?
My gold. I had it in a little bag on my back.
Well, regardless of that, Finch, you'd be just one little rat. This is 12 children and a lady and 3 teenage one adult. He's like looking at the group, and Marriage is like, well, we weren't sure who would be safe, and so we decided that we would go on foot and just hope that I guess came across somebody like you in a carriage with maybe 12 seats in it.
Daddy, this could be like pro bono work. Well, and we could call the local newspaper and say that we helped an orphanage, and no. I think that that would be a bad idea.
Yeah, they might, find us where we're going, and
It could still be pro bono work, word of mouth.
so it's the sort of thing that you would be followed. Well, yeah, I mean, hence the they would follow you out of Waypoint Town. I mean, if they knew where we were. So anyway, the reason we're asking is because if we don't want to, put you all at risk, anything like that. So we wanted to make sure I didn't want to just show up on your doorstep and you be unawares, So if it's not all right, it's not all right. Well, I didn't say that now, did I?
Will you pay?
Well, you see, the thing about that is we'll pay.
What?
We'll all pay.
For all of us?
Yeah, I mean, if it's all right with you, I don't know if you've got a room that would typically suit 12 kids and 4
We have
adults.
a big tavern. I know it's called the Little Daisy, but it's actually really...
It's an ironic name, such that when you come to our tavern, you look at it and say, that's not a Little Daisy at all. Mm-hmm. A little bit of a joke. Right. So, but I don't know if you've got room suitable for 16, but, I mean, I'll pay whatever you want, if I can afford it.
3 gold per person. It's...
Well, I can't afford that. I will make it a reasonable price. I mean, you just saved my son's life.
Will you pay for my adventure?
Who? Us?
Yes.
What? We'll talk about you coming later. I mean, whatever. We will discuss a reasonable price on the way. But if you are all willing to stay in one room, I don't see why you shouldn't be allowed to come. I mean, especially considering what's going on right now.
What's going on right now?
What's going on right now? Well, you've heard of that criminal. The one that burned down that farm? I mean, Finch had to beg me to come into town with me. But I'm a big softy at heart, and I love my son.
I love you too, Daddy.
I love you too, son. So, I think that it is better for all of us if we all start, getting a move on now. And he, picks up Finch and, it starts, walking towards the carriage.
I can walk.
All right. And he, puts you down. Lucian is kind of just doing one of those.
Well, cool. How far away is the Little Daisy?
Well, I can't fit all of you in the carriage, unfortunately, so we'll have to go quite a bit slower. Probably about between 3 and 4 hours we'll be there.
Oh.
Well, suppose you won't be walking. And he's gonna look at Meredith, and Meredith is looking at him with his her eyebrows raised.
Yeah.
And he looks up at her, and he just nods and just starts walking towards the carriage. If you want to interpret that, you can.
I think that Thea gets it.
Yeah. Yeah. And they're all walking in that direction. I think when you guys start walking towards the carriage, Fingers puts a hand on Lucian's shoulder, and he just shakes his head.
Well, if we want to expedite this, all the slowest people should be in the carriage. And I'm fit and healthy, so I'll walk.
You should stay in the carriage, mate.
Why?
Because just fix your arm, but your body's going to get to work putting it back together. So you're going to get a bit more tired. You should stay in the carriage. Don't want you falling anymore.
I know how to walk.
Finch. Doctor's orders.
Fine. He goes into the back of the carriage all poutily.
And while you go into the carriage, Finch's dad, what's his name?
Atticus
is gonna say, really though, thank you so much for being there to fix my son's broken arm. And he puts out a handshake for Lucian to take.
Oh, okay. I think that Ethiod kind of sidles up next to Lucian and shakes his hand for him, and is just like, "You're welcome."
Right, and you're like, like shake his hand. You can see him trying to like kind of pull his hand
Yeah,
away.
and I
Like
think
Lucian,
that Ethiod's trying to do that thing where it's like, "I'm going to intimidate you with how strong my
you're like
handshake is."
squeezing it. You're just like shaking his arm up, and he's kind of like pulling it away. But then you feel his like masculine businessman energy kicking, and he doubles down, just starts squeezing your hand and shaking it. Yes, yes, yes. I very much appreciate it. My name is Atticus Finch.
Green.
His middle name also be Finch.
Well, Douglas's middle name isn't Finch. Finch has nothing to do with his name. He just asked to be called that.
Oh, to be called Finch?
Yeah.
Okay, well, look at me not knowing your freaking character. My name is Atticus Green.
Atticus.
And Lucian is like, my name is Ralph Boonsley. He like shakes his head a little bit when he says
My name is Lemmet King.
Well, it's a pleasure to meet both of you.
Theod's like still shaking his
Yeah,
hand.
he's like shaking your hand back, and he's like, well, Ralph, was it? Right. You look a bit worse for wear, if you don't mind my saying so. And friggin' Atticus is gonna kind of like assert his dominance on your wrist and grab it and just shove your arm straight.
Yeah.
And like pull his hand free. And he kind of like rubs his wrist, you know how you do?
I think Ethiod's like flexing his hand because also 2 of his fingers are broken.
Yep.
And I think that he's like,
This was a sacrifice. When you pull your hand away, Lucian is gonna look over his shoulder and be like, "You're all right, mate."
I'm fine.
He's gonna say, I think if we move some of the linens and other sundry supplies that I've purchased today, we'll have enough space for you or that lady." And he like points at Meredith, and Lucian's like, well, Meredith is certainly going to be taking up that spot, but I hope you move something if you need. He's like, all right, and like goes, like starts walking towards the back of the thing, and as he walks away, Lucian is gonna like walk past you, and like his eyes, like he's like, ooh, like his eyes all big, like starts walking behind him. Meredith is like getting the kids loaded up. Finch is on the thing. Fingers is already sitting on top of the carriage.
Yeah, I think Finch tries to get on top of the carriage.
Fingers is up there, and he's gonna be like, hey, little buddy, do you not recall moments ago when you fell and broke your arm?
Well, I'm not going to jump off.
Cool.
I'll take the safe route and climb down the ladder.
What if instead you didn't, and you were on the ground or like walking, or you like with
This
your
is
dad?
an adventure, and being a kid is hard. So I need adventures to quell my...
Your arm's broken, huh? That's not it. I feel like maybe you should take it a little bit easy. Finch,
Yes.
get up front.
But I want...
3, 2.
Aw. He like climbs down the ladder.
Fingers is gonna be like, he like looks around and is like, okay, this will work for me up here, and he's gonna like kind of like slink down to the other side, and he like hangs his upper body over the edge of the door, and all of a sudden in front of like Sana's face appears his face, and she like jumps back, and he's like, here, give me a kid. He like grabs her hand, just like swings them into the doorway.
Yeah.
Woo! Like doing one of those. Meredith like rolls her eyes. Lucian and Atticus are talking the dimensions of the inside of the, whatever.
Yeah.
It's like, I think that if we, and Lucian's like, well, I think if we move this here, that could be like seats. You are not going to be sitting on. Those are vases. Well, and I could see why that would be a bad spot. Doing one of those. And he's gonna be like, there's there won't be enough room in the back, but some of the kids can sit up front with Finch. And so, like, some of the, like, Sana and Leela go sit up front because they're big.
How old are you?
We're 12.
I'm 10.
Your name's Finch?
Yes. Douglas Finch Queen, nice to meet ya. And he, like, holds out 2 hands to each side to shake their hand at the same time.
The one, Sana's on your good arm side, and she grabs your hand and shakes and says, I'm Sana, and this is my twin sister, Leela. And Leela reaches also for the good arm to, like, shake your hand. Nice to meet you.
Do you have a last name? It's good to introduce yourself with a last name.
Fisher.
Sana and Leela Fisher. And Douglas Finch Queen. There's some similarities there.
What are they?
Owls. And...
What was that?
Owls.
What?
Owls.
Oh, I think he's trying to say R. Oh, I see what you mean. Yes.
And animals.
Oh, yeah, I guess
Fish
so.
and Finch. I think that we're going to have a good relationship here.
Well, that's good. And they're like looking at each other. I feel like they're both sitting on one side and you're like on the other side, and then there's your dad. And friggin' all the kids get loaded in to wherever they're gonna be. Meredith is in the back. She's got like Ekthu like on her lap. There's just like they're like hanging from the rafters. They're friggin' everywhere. And Fingers is on the roof. He's like, Lucian, man, you are not gonna be the only one walking.
Well, Ethiod's walking.
Well, in Fingers' mind, Ethiod's gonna sit on the roof.
Oh, okay.
And Lucian's gonna be like,
sit up front.
There's not room for me, is there? I might could sit on a horse, but I think I'd start crying.
Sana and Leela can sit on the roof.
No, I don't want them sitting up there.
Why?
I don't want them to fall.
Oh.
I don't mind if you two fall. He like winks. I can sit on the back. Surprised we got them all in there. I guess a bit of ingenuity. There's not so much stuff in here. He's like looking around. It's like crammed to the far corners.
Yeah.
And he's gonna say, okay, sit on the back.
Okay.
As long as the door's open. And he's gonna like climb up on the I don't know, anatomy of a freaking carriage,
like the little
wagon,
like
the
step
thing,
yeah,
the step thing. How you get the stuff into place? He's gonna like get himself up on that and kind of like sit. There's like a middle area. He's got like one leg on one side, kind of like bent and dangling off, and the other one is kind of straight across it. So he's like perpendicular to the direction of travel.
Yeah.
And he's always say, "This is the most comfortable I've ever been in my entire life."
Yeah, it sounds like it.
I mean, he's sitting. Now go up there.
What?
Get up there.
I can walk. It's fine.
If you would please, just get up there, mate.
Okay. And he like climbs up, and he's like,
And Fingers like it's like patting the ground next to me. It's got like a stupid little grin on his face, and he's like, "Hey, buddy,
what?
you got that bread from earlier?"
Oh, yeah.
I just gotta have one more bite. Like I said, mate, it's got a limited amount of uses in one day. I'm just gonna have a bite, just one bite, just one little bite.
You can have this. And Ethiod brings out the piece that he didn't eat and gives it to Fingers.
Oh, is it already used up?
No.
What do you mean?
I just ripped off a piece here.
Good roll deception.
23.
Yeah, he fully is like none the wiser about it. He thinks that you're on the level. And he like eats it. He's like, "Oh, it's so good, bread. Am I right?"
Yeah, I love bread.
Anyway, I'm gonna fall asleep.
Oh,
If you could just make sure, I don't think we're gonna be going that fast. You know what I mean? There's 20,000 people in this carriage, those poor horses. This is probably not actually feasible in all reality. But if you could just make sure we hit like a bump or something, I don't like go flying.
Oh, okay.
Great, thanks. And he's gonna like put his head down. He like holds on to like the corners of the top.
Yeah.
And Finch's dad is gonna be like, "All right, is everybody ready to go?"
Ready. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you need verbal confirmation from everyone?
Well, of course. Yeah. He like cough on his shoulder, and Meredith's like, "Yes, we're ready to go." He's like, "All right." Yeah. And the horses start like slowly, they like takes him a second. So they're like, "Oh, baller. Okay." All the stuff. These are some like Clydesdale, like stupid horses. Yeah. And they're freaking other reason why it's going to take a while when they're clip-clopping down the freaking bunny trail.
I think that Finch turns to Leela and Sana and he's like, you understand being a kid.
Well, they're going to kind of like look at each other. So you can like roll insight on that if you want.
Okay. 21.
They look like they don't know what that's like.
Oh, you've had to grow up.
I guess so.
You want to know something? Being a kid is hard. Really, really hard. And you understand that because you're still a kid. But it's hard. And I want to start a campaign about how hard it is to be a kid. And then get some appreciation from the adults in the world who think that being a kid is easy.
Finch, do you think I don't appreciate you?
I didn't say that all adults. You're on the side of the campaign where you agree. I think. He kind of looks at him.
Eyes narrow. And he's like, "Well, I certainly think that some kids have had it really hard." And he like looks at Sana and Leela and they kind of like shrug. And he's like, "They don't even know it."
I think that they're
How
aware.
tragic.
I think maybe turns to them. Are you aware that you've had it hard?
I don't know. Dad's like, "Well, either way, there was no way I was going to let a bunch of orphans wander around in the forest when we have a place for you to be, especially not after that kind gentleman, Dr. Boonsley. Thank you, Finch. Thank you, my son, Finch.
You're welcome.
Healed your broken arm and says he's going to heal it tomorrow as long as he's there."
Wait. So about that campaign, he like turns to the... Are you willing to donate 1 silver to the campaign?
Oh, we don't have any money.
Gosh darn it.
Better luck next time, Finch.
Nobody seems to want... I have 2 pence. Nope, that's real. I have 2 couple, and I had more, but I had to buy milk for morale. Morale is important when you're running an entrepreneurship.
Oh, that reminds me. I've got a present for you. And your dad takes out of his pocket a jug of milk.
Milk! He like friggin' grabs it, he takes his flask out, and he's like trying to like pour it in, but there's like bumps, and it's kind of like... So no, okay. I think the smart move would be to do this waiter.
Well, Finch, it's your milk. Do with it what you would like.
Do you 2 ladies happen to want some milk?
No, thank you.
You sure? Milk is fantastic. Daddy, where'd you get this milk from?
there's a grocer in the center of town. It's been a bit in my pocket for an hour, so it's a bit warm.
Warm milk is the best.
That's what you want
Uh,
in milk.
Was
Warmth.
it the one that for like a glass of milk they charge you 3 gold?
Finch, do you think I am so not a smart shopper that I would go to a place like that? Of course not. And you know, I had a coupon.
Really? A coupon milk tastes even better.
Doesn't it? And he's gonna like squeeze your shoulder.
Are you sure you two ladies don't want some? Milk is great, and it's strong for your bones.
Ladies, are you ooh, hubba hubba. You two ladies want some milk? And Fingers is like, hey, he like head appears on the other side, and Sana sticks her fingers out the window and pokes him in the eye. He's like, oh, jeez, that's, I feel like that was uncalled for. My eyeballs. And he's like,
Fingers, you're really close to the edge. Okay. And I think that, Ethion, kind of grabs him and moves him closer to the center.
And Lucius goes, can you all sort of calm down up there?
I'm trying to chill. And
you're really good at that.
Okay.
What, did I hurt your feelings?
No, I'm just, listen, I'm here minding my own business.
You know who's really bad at chilling?
You.
Me.
Well, and one can't. Stop doing that. Don't wink at me. It's weird. I was going.
Does it make you nervous, mate? To do things to feel your heart fluttering?
Oh, stop.
You know who's really good at chilling?
Who?
Neolith.
Oh, haha.
And you're doing that as you clippity-clop down the road to the Little Daisy, out nearby of which some bozos are performing Idiot Time for Bugnut, or whatever. Frungit or whatever, and an unnamed other guard. To what end?
To what end?
Who knows? You'll have to find out on the next episode of Nat 2.
What the fuck was this episode?
I don't know. A lot happened. Anyway.
It was a sandbag for summer. I
don't know, man.
I love it. It was like, okay, you banded. Wait. You were the sandbag?
I was the sandbag, yes. Well, I learned a lot while I was there about. Weight, I had to be, what I had to do is I would put apples in my pocket. I said, why not just do a bag of apples? And they said, well, you're cheaper. And I said, well, that's fair.
You're cheaper than a bag of apples.
I didn't take a lot of money. I lived outside the theater and I would eat popcorn, but kernels, because when it's popcorn, it gets stale. What? I would vacuum them out of the soil.
What?
With my mouth.
Frungit, are you alright?
Who's to say? Are any of us all right? He stares into the distance wistfully.
That's a good question, because I ain't quite sure myself.
You stare, too.
With my one good eye.
With your one good eye. Well, catch you on the flippity flip.
Goodbye.
Bye.